YouTube, how you doing? Murphrags here, bringing you a video on how to use Xbox Game Bar on your PC to enhance your stream, especially if you've got a single PC setup, but it's really useful for a dual PC setup as well. I've decided to make this video because Xbox Game Bar has allowed me to really enhance the way that I stream. It's made everything more streamlined and easier. There's even a way I'll show you in a minute that you can use it almost as an external mixer, how you can mix sounds together from different apps and push that out to your stream, so everything's really streamlined. I want to start off by saying that because Xbox Game Bar is considered almost an overlay or a background process, it was really hard for me to use OBS or any of my other game capture or screen capture software to get Game Bar to show up, because as you can see here, this is almost an overlay. So I'm recording this using an NVIDIA driver, a different process than I normally do to make these videos. So hopefully the quality is okay. I know the sound is going to be different as well because this is using a different a different setting where I can't enhance my microphone quality or anything like that. So if it sounds a little bit different, that's why. If it looks a little bit different, that's why. But getting into the video, you can set up Xbox Game Bar by coming down here to Settings. And when you open this up, you're going to open up Gaming. And for a lot of people, this is already going to be set up on your PC by default, but if not, this is how you do it. You just come over here and make sure that all of this is on. You've got to check this right here to make sure this is on. I would also recommend hitting this as well, this check mark right here for Open Game Bar, using this button on a controller. What that means is if you have a controller hooked up to your PC, if you hit the home button on your Xbox controller, that would normally bring up like your home screen on your Xbox. It'll bring up this right here, the Xbox Game Bar, instead on your PC. There's a few shortcuts here you can memorize, or you can change it up and put your own shortcut there. And a lot of this I'm just going to leave default because you're actually going to change this in the Game Bar itself. But this is the main thing you want to check right here. After that, to pull up your Xbox Game Bar, you're going to go on your keyboard and you're going to hit the Windows key and G. And when you hit those two keys together, you're going to pull up this overlay. This is the Xbox Game Bar right here. Now some of these up top may be unchecked, I don't know, just depends on if you've used it before or what your default settings are, but for me all of this stuff is already up. So a lot of this is customizable, right? So you can come over here and you can take whatever you don't use, you can take it away off the screen, off the overlay, or just add these back. You can also move these individual screens around to suit your needs. You can also pin these screens, so if I want something like my audio mix to stay pinned even with Xbox Game Bar off, you can actually pin it, and then even when you turn this off, you can still have access to your mixer. This is actually part of the brand new update that was literally released like 30 minutes before I decided to make this video. You can actually disable click-through, or I can enable it. So if this is enabled, or if this is disabled, anything that's pinned over here you can move while it's pinned. But if you don't want that happening, if you're watching a video or you're playing a game and you just want this on your screen without interacting with anything you're doing, you can just disable the click-through, and now you can do whatever you need to and you can't click on any of this. So that's just a cool tip as well. Let me reset all this before we go through the settings. Yep. Once you pull up your Xbox Game Bar, I would go to Settings first. Set everything up here. General, you can turn this on or off. I leave it off. This is just going to show tips when you start up a game. Like it'll tell you if you hit like a certain shortcut, it'll record your gameplay or something like that. For accounts, you can actually link multiple accounts to your Xbox profile. So you can see here I have my Steam profile, Twitch, Twitter, Discord. I've got my Spotify linked here, and what that allows you to do is, let me see if any of my friends have this installed on theirs. They don't. Will it work on mine? Yep, so it shows up on mine. So if I click on my profile right here, my icon, it will actually give a direct link to any of those social accounts that I have linked right here, which is really useful because you know, it appears that none of these guys have it set up, but if they had it set up like I did, anybody who comes to my profile and clicks on it will have instant access to any of my social profiles here. You can't link Instagram or anything like that. You can link a Facebook, Reddit, all the stuff that I have linked here as well. It's just really useful to have all of that social media stuff linked here, especially on PC. If somebody wants to go to your Steam profile, they can just click here and go straight to your Steam. Widget menu, I only have my Spotify linked here. You can install third-party widgets as well. There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of support for this, but there are a few if that's something that interests you. Shortcuts, again, this is kind of like we did back in the other settings. You can either memorize these shortcuts or you can even input your own if you prefer. Personalization, you can switch between the light and dark theme. This is just the transparency of anything that you pin. You can actually make this more transparent so it doesn't stick out as much. Default widget position, that's what I did a minute ago that I was having trouble finding because it looks like they switched some of these up. But you can just reset this. If you have all these kind of just like all messed up and you want to fix that, you can just come down here and hit reset and it'll reset it all for you. Capturing, this is important. If you use the capture, which I'll show you up here in the top left in a moment, but if you have any of this here, you can change these settings and audio to record. If you put none, it's just going to record gameplay. It's not going to record any audio. If you have game, it's just going to record your game and your microphone, which is probably what most people are going to use. Or you can record all of it, which is going to record your game, your mic, and anything going on your system in the background on your desktop. Notifications, these are all just going to be a personal preference type of thing. These are just the notifications that I want to be notified of, but I don't need some of this stuff like notify me when friends are online. I don't want that because that would, anytime I was on my PC, not even gaming, just like watching YouTube or, you know, if my wife's using my account or something like that, this would just be popping up friends constantly. So I have that turned off. Party chat is also pretty important. This is going to be your party chat volume here. So if you want to turn this up or down, you can. Push to talk, you can turn that on if you want. That would be useful if you're wanting to use this for streaming purposes. You can actually turn this on and use a button to push to talk. And what that's going to do is anything on OBS that you're pushing out to your stream, they're going to hear your mic regardless. But if you have push to talk, and let's say I bind this to T, I can hold down T and talk to my party and my teammates. But if I'm not holding down T, you know, my stream will still hear me, but my party chat won't. So if you're talking to somebody in your chat or something like that, your party chat isn't going to hear you unless you hold down T. So that could be useful in certain situations as well. Audio input, for some reason, I'm actually really hoping that they fix this in the update. I haven't had a chance to test it out yet, but for a while I was having trouble getting my party chat to hear me, and for some reason anytime I entered a party chat through here, I would have to change this to something else and then back to my microphone to get it to pick up. So if you're having trouble getting your microphone to pick up for some reason, I would try just turning it to anything else and then turning it back to your microphone default device. And that should fix your microphone issue, but hopefully that's no longer required with this new update anyways. And feedback, I just have this turned off because I don't like anything being sent over the internet about what I'm doing on my PC. I usually have anything diagnostic turned off, whether it's my computer, my Xbox, my phone, what have you. So that's all that's going on in the settings. I'll go over how to use most of this stuff, but I'm going to do it from the perspective of a streamer because I think that's what most people who are watching this video are going to try to use this for, and that was kind of my purpose of making the whole video in the first place. So you can use this even if you're not a streamer. It's really useful. You can play your music in the background, have easy access your friends list, start a party to do chat if you don't want to use Discord or something like that. But from the perspective of a streamer, if you have a single PC or even a dual PC setup, it's really convenient having this linked to the Windows G key, because anything you're playing in the background, if you're playing a game or something like that, you can at any time, even in the middle of your gameplay, just Control G and bring this up to switch your songs, to invite another person to your party, to see the performance of your PC, how much of your CPU, GPU, or RAM is being used, an FPS counter, and of course this is going to be probably the most important thing I talk about here in a moment, which is the audio mix. And if you're not streaming and you're just recording gameplay, you can record from here as well. So it's really convenient that at any time you can just hit Windows and G and pull this up. I'm going to launch my Spotify real quick just so I can show you guys what's going on with that as well. So now that my Spotify is up, I can Control G and control my Spotify from here. I'm not going to play any music because this is going up on YouTube and I don't want a copyright strike or my video being taken down, so you just kind of have to imagine what I'm talking about down here. So for Spotify, if you're streaming and you've got all your desktop audio going through your stream, this is where you're going to play, pause, switch your tracks, or you can even come down here and select a different playlist or something like that. So that way if you're in the middle of a game and you want to switch the song or pause the music, you don't have to exit your game. Especially, if you're, like I said, on a single PC setup, this is going to be even more useful because you don't have to exit what you're doing and then come down to your Spotify, pause your music, switch your song, minimize, and then go back to your game. When you're in the middle of your game, you can just pull it up, Windows G, pause, skip track, whatever, and then go right back to whatever you were doing. Down here, this is convenient. If you're looking for a group, you can actually find players for whatever game that you're playing. So let's say I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare and I want to find a group of people to play with. I can either create a post looking for people, or this guy right here, P2 Spectre, is looking for an S&D crew. He needs 5 people. I can type in a note, say I'm interested, and then he can invite me to the game or party. So this is really cool if you're looking for somebody to play with and it's hard for you to get matched up with players that are trying to play as a group or something like that. You can manage your posts here as well. This is your Xbox Social Hub. This is similar to what you would see on your Xbox home screen, or if you don't have Xbox, even if you're gaming on PC or PS4, as long as you have a Microsoft profile, you can still use this Xbox game bar on PC. And you can add friends, and you can add friends if they're on Xbox or PC. Here's your chat groups, and then over here you can join somebody's party or create your own. Let me just do that real quick to show you what you're going to do there as well. So I'm going to start a party, and I'm going to mute the mic and the volume just in case this gets picked up by the capture software. But this is going to be a really convenient area as well. If you're not wanting to use Discord, or if you use Discord and you just want to try something different, this is a really cool option because you can invite anybody here to a party. They'll come into here. You can make the party invite only so nobody can just hop in. You can leave the party. You can mute yourself, which kind of going back to the push to talk option. Let's say you're waiting for a game to start up and you're talking to somebody in your chat and you don't want the party chat to hear what you're saying. You can actually just mute yourself here, and nobody in your party chat's going to hear you until you unmute your mic. And likewise, I muted myself here, but if there were more people in this party and I didn't want to hear them on stream while I'm waiting for a game to start up or something like that, I can actually mute them as well. So you can mute all the way down the list or mute just 2 people or something like that. So this is a convenient area to come to as well. Down here on the bottom left, we kind of already talked about it. This is just your computer performance. This is really good to monitor if you're wondering if you're using too much of your CPU, GPU, whatever, or if you don't have a frame counter, which most of you PC gamers already do. This will display your current FPS in whatever game you're playing as well. Top left, you have a capture. You can't stream straight from here. I believe at one time you could. I think they took that option away. But regardless, you can record gameplay from here or take a screenshot. And then this is probably the coolest option on the Xbox game bar in my opinion. For those of you who don't have an external mixer or a Go XLR or anything like that are going to find this very, very useful. I know I have. All of this stuff on the left, voice is pretty simple. You're just going to select your microphone here. But the mix is going to be really important, right? So let's say, okay, yep, that brought up Spotify. That's what I was looking for. So if you've got Spotify running in the background, pretty much anything that has an audio input coming into your computer is going to be listed here on the left-hand side, which is really convenient because you can control each individual program from this mix bar right here. So for example, my system sounds are going to be basically my desktop audio, and if I want any of that louder or quieter, I can control that here, or I can even mute it right there. Spotify is something I use a lot in my stream, and so if I want my Spotify to be coming through on my stream louder or quieter, I can control that here. I typically leave it between about 3 and 6, just depending on what I'm doing and how loud I want it for my stream or myself. I can control that here without it affecting any of my other programs. If I had Internet Explorer up with a YouTube video running, that would pop up here as well. It would come up as Internet Explorer, and then you could control the volume of that if you were watching a YouTube video on stream or something. And then all of that can also be augmented through your headset. So this is my headset right here. This is what I'm listening to, everything going on from my gameplay to my stream. Desktop audio is coming through to my headset. So let's say I wanted the Spotify to be louder on stream. I can turn this up, but now it's too loud in my headset. I can actually turn my headset down so that nothing on stream is being affected. None of the audio that the stream is hearing is being affected, but I am turning everything coming through my headset down. So this isn't going to be as robust as an actual sound mixer or a Go XLR or anything like that. This is not going to take the place of any of that stuff, but for somebody on a single PC setup or even a dual PC setup with no mixer board or anything like that, this is a pretty big deal, and this is going to allow you to conveniently in one spot control your music, control all the sound on your system and your stream. It's going to allow you, especially if you're an Xbox or PC user, but again, even if you're on PS4, you can create a Microsoft account and have access to a lot of these features. And you can use the party chat and anything like that, monitor your performance, control your audio mix, join or leave parties, create your own chats, and you're going to do all of it just with the push of Windows and G. So if you're in the middle of, what's a fast game to boot up? I guess I'll just boot up Modern Warfare real quick. Say I'm in the middle of a game. Even with this game running in the background real quick, I can just hit Windows G and my overlay is going to pop up. I can still control all my audio. I can play and stop music. I can be in the middle of a game, and with a quick 2-button tap, I can control all of that as well as see my party or anything like that. So that's what makes this whole Xbox game bar really convenient. I have all of my Xbox audio coming through my PC anyways, so if I'm playing a game on Xbox, all of that Xbox audio is coming through my PC anyways. So now when I stream, I don't even use my Xbox party chat or plug my Mixamp into my Xbox anymore. I just do everything through the PC, and I can still communicate with my Xbox friends by going into a party chat here, because even though these guys are all on Xbox, I can invite them to a party chat and speak to them through PC. And I can control all of my audio here, control my Spotify, and it just makes everything a lot easier for streaming through Streamlabs OBS or whatever stream software you're using. So I hope you guys find this video useful. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to get to them. And if you guys have any game or stream related questions, or if you just want to hang out, come over to my Twitch chat, twitch.tv/murphfrags. Feel free to come hang out over there, ask any questions you might have. I go live about 9 o'clock Eastern almost every night of the week, usually about 6 nights a week, so you can find me over there. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I've got other stream tutorials on there, and I'm going to continue making more videos and content like this, so if you find this stuff useful, please click the subscribe button. It would help me out, and I appreciate it a lot. YouTube, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.